Friends, it is time for the analysis for month of July, my exclusive video on July and what we can expect, some highs and lows, ups and downs. I'm going to talk about gold, silver, copper as well as Bitcoin. See, the monthly video is always very difficult. So I'm focusing on identifying the key dates and in certain weeks, what is the kind of momentum I could expect. What are some time windows which we have to be, very carefully observing in terms of movement, whether it's a bullish momentum or a bearish momentum, some pressure days, some good days as well. So this is what I have identified. Now let me share with you this, that when the situation was weak, there were a lot of analysis that were going on that gold will go to $3,500, silver will drop below $50, all right, but we didn't see that coming. After 3950, we've seen a good momentum in gold and subsequently in silver as well. Copper is also a little bit stable at this time period. Bitcoin also, my prediction has been pretty spot on that it will be above $60,000 through this week. Now, I feel that what is going to happen in the near future, we're going to have some exorbitant targets being set. People might say that, okay, if silver increases by $2 or $3, you will see targets of $90, $100 as well. So please exercise caution with regards to the information, because when Mercury is retrograde, you will see all kinds of misinformation that will continue through the month of July. So be careful. My view of gold is it should test the levels of $4,300. Okay, so that's the first step. Till the time it does not cross and till the time it does not gain strength above $4,400, we cannot conclude that this is actually a bullish momentum. Okay, and then only it will try to reach the levels of $4,500, which I see very much possible between mid-July to mid-August. Silver's next test is about $68, and this will be my upper range in the imminent times, in the next few days. All right, so once it does that, the next level is $73, which of course I had previously predicted. And I still stand by that prediction that by mid-July we should expect some improvement, and mid-July to mid-August is preferably a good time period for gold as well as silver in terms of levels. All right, but I'm not giving any exorbitant levels at this point in time, so we'll see and reassess the situation as and when time would progress. Copper will have some pressure days, some good days, so I would expect copper to range between $6.2 to $6.5. So at high, it could probably come to $6.5 as well, but there are some pressure time periods for copper in the month of July. Bitcoin, second week of July is very critical, very crucial, and that is the week potentially, if Bitcoin can again touch the levels of $30,000, $70,000, that is that week, which will be a decider or a game changer week. It is volatile, things can go in a different direction as well, so we will see as and when the time would progress. Let's start with next week, 6th of July. Market opening to me could be a bit pressure bound or neutral, but the day looks pretty much stable. I have no concerns with regards to the day. The Indian market hours, European market hours look good, but evening time onwards, US time onwards, 6th till 7th, the transition that is happening, that to me looks a bit pressure bound. So some lower levels can be retested here. I'm not expecting worst case scenario or probably to go lower than what we've seen in the first week of July. Okay, but Moon is going to be with Saturn, Venus is going to be with Ketu, Mercury is also changing signs, so a number of changes are happening at the same point in time. I would expect things to get gradually better till 24th of July, but this is a time period where we have to exercise some caution. Some levels can get retested. Though 8th and 9th of July transition, I consider it to be better. I consider it to have a good momentum. And that time onwards, post 7th of July till mid-July, things will get very clear whether it's an actual bullish momentum or not, whether Mercury is really playing its reversal mode or it is leading us in a confused state. If that happens, then my view till early August is very good for gold and silver, and that is when we'll be able to reassess and reevaluate the levels. Thereafter, the subsequent week, which is the week of 13 July, it's a volatile week. 13 July particularly has the capability to set the context of the whole week. It is dominated by Rahu. So this week we'll have Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Saturn, Mercury and Ketu's energy. So the week will start in the same manner as it will end. Unexpected manner, unexpected shifts could be there. Okay, similar energies are there in the beginning and the end of the week. Mercury here will be in deep combustion. So this week, there is some impact on the wider financial market, stocks, equities. We could expect some, pressure there. I am not certain whether it will have a greater momentum or probably a greater effect on commodities. Okay, I would still expect commodities to do relatively okay. 14 July is an important time period because this transition is no moon day and it is always important to check. And this week is absolutely volatile for Bitcoin, which will be a make or a break kind of week. So it could go in either of the direction. So we'll see what happens. Copper can be in some pressure situation this week, we would expect. And perhaps after this, I would be in a better position to reassess the levels, whether copper is probably breaking any lows or going to do anything better between mid-July to mid-August, which will be a different time period for copper considering mid-June to mid of July, which I did not consider to be very strong for copper compared to what has happened previously. So once we pass this volatility and the important time period, then we're stepping into the week of 20th of July, which is important, relatively stable, and a better week compared to the previous week. I don't expect major volatility to probably happen, within this week. The week begins with some pressure, which could be the effect of the previous week. Moon Saturn energies are there; they're exactly opposite to each other. Sun and Jupiter will begin in a Shubh Yoga. So there is a Shubh Yoga because Mercury and Venus will be in adjacent houses. So though copper could be under pressure, silver can also be a little bit under pressure at the start of the week, but as and when the time would progress, 21st, 22nd onwards, I would expect things to get better and strength to revive. But I'm not expecting this week to be too volatile. The previous week is, the following week is also a week of movement, which is 27 July onwards. So the dates between 27 till 29 July is extremely important purely from an astrological point of view. On 27th of July, Moon is going to be in Venus's nakshatra. Venus is in own nakshatra, so it is an important day for silver, also for gold. And this transition looks quite bullish to me from 27th till 28th. There will be movement, and it should continue till 29th of July as well, which could probably make sure that, or probably build our confidence what is going to happen in the times ahead. This week, Jupiter will be in deep combustion, same degree as Sun. However, there is an exceptional rule that applies in Jyotish because Jupiter is in Ucha Rashi. So 27 till 29 July will really set the context, will set the momentum. And of course, there will be external influences also during this time. But this is one of the most important time periods for metals, which will set the future course and the direction. So I'm bit optimistic till 10th of August. So I'm expecting something good to happen in this week. All right, as in when we get closer, we will reassess the levels, we will revise the levels and probably see what we achieve, because I don't want to set any exorbitant targets at this point in time and go in a very systematic step-by-step approach, right? Lower levels of gold could again be retested at $4,100. Variance could be here of $100, so 4,000 can also be there in terms of retest. Silver, $60 in terms of lower levels. A variance of $3 will always be there for silver. And of course, for copper, $6.2, there will be always a variance of 0.2 here in copper as well. So this will be my range in terms of the lower levels, and upper levels I've already shared with you, and that is something which I'm quite optimistic and confident about. So let us hope July turns out to be better for us. The start has been good and the optimism should increase from here. Have a good month ahead, and we will continue the analysis on a week-on-week basis. Stay tuned and take care.